Divisive Indecisiveness. Quite the title. Our indecisiveness can be divisive. It can cause conflict in relationships. It can wreak havoc internally. Our indecisiveness can have negative effects on many aspects of life. So why do people choose indecisiveness? Well, maybe they choose it because they're afraid. They're afraid of making a bad choice. They're afraid of failure. Some people are such perfectionists that they can't make the decision. They're paralyzed. They're paralysis through analysis. They're stuck in their indecisiveness. For some people, it's insecurity. It's not having the self-confidence to make the choice. Or maybe for some people, it's because they want to please everyone and they're so afraid of making this choice that it might be a choice that some people are not happy with. So they make no choice. But indecisiveness and not making a choice is actually making a decision. An indecision is a decision. So think about that. Think about your indecisiveness. Think about what might be causing you to be indecisive. Maybe you fear being judged or evaluated by others. Maybe it's an avoidance of responsibility, because if you don't decide to do something, then you don't have the responsibility of following through. Where does your indecisiveness come from? And what's the impact that it has on your life, that it has on your relationships? Because indecisiveness can create a lot of conflict with couples. When one person just can't decide, they can't make a choice. And it can wreak havoc on your self-esteem, your self-worth, and your self-confidence when you're continually stuck in limbo and can't pull the trigger on the decision that needs to be made. And remember that not deciding is a decision. So what can you do? Well, there's several things that you can do to approach your indecisiveness, because really it is similar to procrastination. You can set a time limit. You can decide, I'm going to make this decision by the end of the week or by the end of the day. And you can gather the information and the data so that you can feel secure about the decision that you need to make. But you have an end point and you decide, I'm going to make it at this time. Maybe what you can do in your indecisiveness is accept the fact that there's the possibility of making the wrong choice. That we all are imperfect in our choices, in our decisions, and we don't always get it right. And accept your imperfection. Accept that there's no perfect answer and perfect choice. And that, you know what? You'll be okay if you don't make the right choice. It's not the end of the world. And 10 years from now, when you look back, will that choice, will that decision have changed your life forever? Chances are not. But making a choice and working through that and recognizing that when you approach anxiety and fears, it's the way to work through it. You have to go through it to get through it. Because just sitting in it, just obsessing over it, doesn't work. There's a technique in psychology called exposure prevention, response prevention. And it's a technique where you actually approach the fear, you work through the fear. And step by step, gradually working through it. It may be that that's one thing that you practice, is you practice making small decisions as you work towards making big decisions. My father had a saying. He would say, do something. Even if it's wrong, do something. rather than be stuck in indecisiveness. Sometimes making big choices are very difficult, but I encourage you to take that next step, to make a decision and to deal with the anxieties, the fears that you have associated with that choice or that decision, and recognize that making a decision often is a better choice than being indecisive. Follow through on your decisions, because that's what makes a good leader. A good leader is decisive. A good leader can make choices, and they might not be 100% certain with those choices, but they make them because that helps us in moving forward with life. Acknowledge your fears and anxieties and work through them so that you can make decisions when they need to be made. Until next time, Dr. Tony signing out.